Mr. Eat Your Greens, get up, man. Get up, man. You know you gotta get up, man. He missed 5 phone calls. This money going everywhere. I'm too high for this too, getting ready to come out. What you got going on, man? You gonna get up? Don't worry about it. I'll call you back later. I'll call you back later. Get your sleep, Mr. Eat Your Greens. I'm too high for this too, coming out though. Man. Eat you some greens, you niggas gon' ball. They ask what I spend when I go to the mall. They ask about green when I pick up the call. This shit that I'm selling, you niggas gon' ball. Eat you some greens, you niggas gon' ball. They ask what I spend when I...
All right, are we live? Are we ready to go?
Ready to go. Famous B, it's your show. Let's do it.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're good to go. We're live. Can you hear me, B?
Oh, there we go.
I can hear
All right, yeah, good. We're live. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. 1970, well, Famous B in the house, 1975 wrestling fan, aka Famous B in the house. Live on Famous B show this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. We are live with my co-host Lyle Murray, member of the FTW family. We are live and in studio. And again, good morning, my bro Lyle. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man. Famous B, how you doing today?
Another beautiful day in California, a little cold. It was raining last night, a little chilly, but I think the sun's coming up. How's the weather out there for you?
Miserable. It's been cold forever. This winter has sucked. It's been brutal. I mean, I got the scarf on not just because, MJF is the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, but because it's actually pretty freaking cold up here.
It is. All right, well, let's get into some topics this morning. As you guys know, we did have a podcast on Monday to cover Monday Night Raw, and we had, it was Reptar and FTW Rock. We had some topics and discussions about how we felt about Monday Night Raw. Lyle, did you have an opportunity to watch Monday Night Raw?
I did get to see, I want to say all but like the last 15 to 20 minutes of it, yes.
Okay, so give me your thoughts about Monday Night Raw, and then we'll get into some topics here pertaining to the world of professional wrestling and where we think it's going in 2026.
I want to be simple, straight, and blunt like I usually am, man.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked lately. I'm sorry. I'm not with a lot of the storylines that are going on in WWE at the moment. I feel like they've dropped the ball and or let a lot of what they did have good going kind of grow stagnant and stale, and throw some stupid crap in there. I'm seeing way too much of El Grande Americano. I'm sorry, don't care. Seeing way too much of it. I don't know, man. Raw wasn't terrible. They haven't been like just shit shows, but at the same time, it's been hard to keep my interest. I do like seeing Logan Paul every week. I know that's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but man, I was quoted years ago on the podcast saying this, or a couple years ago at least, when Logan first started and it was just part-time, and I'm like, he's great, but in order for him to actually be great, he needs to go full-time. And if he does that, he'll be somebody. And that's what he's done. He's been a man of his word so far, say he's going full-time. And since then, he's pretty much been full-time. Although with that being said, I'm not a fan of this vision. I'm a fan of what Seth Rollins had going. I don't quite know what the hell they got going with this. And then with Braun having the hernia, I know that throws a gigantic wrench in their plans for what they're going to do with the faction. Overall, though, I'm very, very underwhelmed going into Mania, like full peak Mania season, which is not a good thing.
I have to agree. Raw's programming has been fairly decent. I think a lot of the issues that I have been seeing in the last couple of weeks has been the not only the storytelling, but the overall creative thing that's just not working for me. I think we're, as wrestling fans, we're not really seeing that creative aspect of things. Matches not being really making sense lately, and I think there's a lot of adjusting that they have to do as far as that goes. And but overall, not a bad show, not a bad program. So with that being said, we did have some breaking news, which was basically all over social media, you know, Facebook, Instagram. The Bleacher Report is that Triple H and TKO has came up with a pay-per-view that's called WWE Clash in Italy, which will be Sunday, May 31st. Now, I have to say this. I'm going to keep it real. Since we have been going to foreign countries, the fans have been bringing it. They've been getting into it. Now, have the matches always been good? They've been decent, but what I like about it is that these fans, in any way, shape, or form, always participate, meaning singing, standing, getting the fans, the wrestlers fired up. So that way when they get into the ring, they're actually ready to go. And I love the fact that we're doing that. But again, like we have talked about, and my theory still remains the same. Whether I have it on my shows or here, this theory always sticks with me because it's the truth. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And I think that not only does Triple H need to understand that, he needs to figure this whole thing out, because at the end of the day, if we're not interested, now that can go for AEW as well, or any wrestling promotion. If we are not interested, we're not going to be watching. So again, what is this pay-per-view actually going to say for us? We're going into WrestleMania like you were talking about. We need to be more focused on WrestleMania, with the addition of him adding extra pay-per-views in there before WrestleMania. I think our question as not only podcasters and wrestling fans, I'll get your thoughts on this, is how are you going to make WrestleMania interesting for us? How much of more of a hype are you going to bring into WrestleMania? Because we understand that you're trying to create pay-per-views before WrestleMania, but let's get some storylines in there. You know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Did you say it was May 31st or March 31st?
I think it was May 31st when I looked up there, but I
that's after Mania.
It's after Mania. That's right, because April, May. So it's after Mania. That's correct. You corrected me. Okay, so again, but here's the thing. What I was getting to, okay, you're right, it's after Mania, but for me, I think the primary focus should be on WrestleMania. Now, you just added a pay-per-view that was May 31st, but again, it's a good thing to add on a pay-per-view, but can we just focus on WrestleMania itself? Can we let you focus on, or you should be focused on, concentrating on how are you going to make WrestleMania great? Now, WrestleMania was okay last year, but how is it going to be better this year? So for me in general, I'm not saying that you can't add on pay-per-views, but what I'm saying is this WrestleMania better be great. In other words, you really need to be focused. You really need to make the matches interesting. We need to see a lot more promos taking place. And then, of course, we want to see storylines in there, meaning we want to see some attacks. We want to see them really being aggressive, taking us into WrestleMania in their particular match. So I wanted to get your thoughts, Murray, on that as well, and just talk about the whole situation and how you feel about this pay-per-view that was put together.
I'm okay with it because it's after Mania. And here's the thing. Like you said, the overseas crowds are always fantastic. The overseas crowd will make a really crappy match enjoyable to watch because they interact the whole time. They sing, they dance, they cheer, they clap. Whenever moves are done, just the impacts, they oohs, the ahs, everything. The foreign crowds put the American fans to shame. every single time we see one of these shows, because they're special, because they don't get it all the time. So they appreciate what they got, when they get it. We are spoiled, we get it all the time. Hell, we get it too much of it sometimes. It overloads our senses, so we take for granted a lot of what we see and get. So we're a lot harder fans to please over in America, I guess to say, for us. So I'm for it, because if you think about it, they're going to bleed everybody dry in Vegas this year for Mania. Everybody, no one has no damn money left. So why are they going to throw another pay-per-view in the States right after Mania for the next month? We're all dry. Go ahead, go overseas, do a pay-per-view, a quick 3 or 4 SmackDown and Raw tour. We have NXT still over here, so we've got that, and then come on back. So it's going to be very lucrative for them. I agree, and I understand, like you said, it's best for business. What makes money? It's making money. What I disagree with what they're doing is, again, I said it earlier, I'm very underwhelmed about this WrestleMania. Yeah. I disagree with them announcing this new pay-per-view already. They could have done it. They could have done it Mania night. They could have done it at Mania during one of those intermissions they have. Backlash, France, or whatever the fuck, Spain, whatever you said it was. Like, they could have done that instead. You're right. They're taking too much focus off of Mania, when honestly what they need to focus on for the next week, at least 100%, is Elimination Chamber. We know Mania is coming. We know Mania is right around the corner. We're very well aware of that. What we don't know quite yet is who the other champions are that are fighting out for the belt, because Elimination Chamber is going to determine the next person. So that's what they should be hyping and focusing on more than anything else, in my opinion. Right now is Elimination Chamber. Let's hype that up. Let's make that a banger pay-per-view so we can get excited for what we're going to see at Mania. And then the Raws and SmackDown and even the NXTs leading up to Mania need to just be, hey, get ready for Mania. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Culmination of this, that, and the other.
I agree 100%. I think you nailed it on the dot here. I think they announced this pay-per-view way too early. I think what they should have done is announced it at WrestleMania. And again, we do have Elimination Chamber. How come we're not talking about Elimination Chamber enough? How come we're not being focused on that? Because remember, this is a pay-per-view that has been around for decades. Why are we jumping the gun so quick here to make the announcement about another pay-per-view that's after WrestleMania? So how do we even know that Elimination Chamber is going to be great? How do we know that the matches you're putting together are going to be exciting? We know that CM Punk is fighting Finn Balor at the Chamber. I haven't heard about anything about Jade Cargill defending her title at Elimination Chamber.
I don't want to talk about her.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't heard about Drew McIntyre defending his championship at Elimination Chamber. So I think the primary focus now is to make sure that every championship is being defended at every pay-per-view. Now, we may not agree that, we like the particular champions, but at the end of the day, I think that they're jumping the gun so quickly, it's almost like they're just trying to say, okay, we're just going to just bring this pay-per-view in here, and then we'll just continue on doing with whatever. But I think it should be one at a time, and I think it should be one step at a time. And I kind of feel like they're jumping the gun for some reason to save themselves. I don't know exactly what the reasoning is, although I'd like to find out. So at the end of the day, now we have the pay-per-view WWE Clash of Italy, May 31st.
I want to float something out there. I want to see how you would think if they did something like this. To me, this would be a way that they could help save Mania. They need to add some mystique, some mystery, instead of this. I don't mean the indecisiveness that we have, like what the hell's going on type, who's fighting who, but more of who's going to fight who, and how do they do that? How about this? We don't have all the participants for the Chamber yet, right? There's still like 1 or 2 slots available.
Right.
We somehow write in Drew McIntyre into the Chamber, who then wins the Chamber, so that he's like, I can take a day off. I'm going to show up at Mania and take the day off because I don't have an opponent because no one can touch me. There's no number one contender. I just defeated all 5 of them in the chamber. And then we have a mystery opponent, Adam Pearce or not Adam Pearce or whoever, Aldis or whatever. I don't get to watch SmackDown, so I'm not quite sure what they have going on over there. But they can have some kind of announcement. Triple H, somebody says, no, look, this is WrestleMania. You're fighting somebody. And then we have a mystery opponent show up at Mania to wrestle Drew McIntyre. I think that would add, like, holy shit, not only did Drew put himself in the chamber, but he won that bitch. He's established himself, which they need to have done because I'm tired of him shafting Drew. And then you get a good mystery opponent, and you can have the mystery opponent win or lose. Either way would work.
So speaking of that, you brought something up that was very interesting. So I don't know if everybody was really paying attention, and you should have been, but there was a mystery crate that was on Monday Night Raw. Why not take that mystery crate to the chamber and surprise us there with whatever it is? It's a wrestler. I'm sure it probably is. Maybe it's some return. I don't know. But I love the fact that you showed it, but it would have been better if you maybe take that to the chamber and then go ahead and surprise us there, because right. WWE has been known to give things away so quickly without us even like being surprised about it. And that's the biggest problem I have. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, they definitely, there's been times in the past you can see where they slow played something way too long and people lost interest. And there's been times where they've just way too fast, and they could have slow played and built more interest. It's a finite game. It's a hit or miss, and WWE still is the best in the business at it. They've been doing it for 60, however many years. You're going to get some flops. You're going to get hits and misses, but I think overall they're generally pretty decent about it. I think it's something that AEW needs to take notice of and kind of learn from, is that particular aspect, because AEW definitely slow plays way too much stuff they don't need to. And then they are way too short on good storylines that they should drag out. They don't really have a middle ground there yet. I think that's where they're struggling personally as a company. As a fan, for me, I love AEW. I'm going to ride with them until the wheels fall off, until there's, brick and mortar falls down. There's no more AEW. I'll be there. But that, in my humble opinion, is one of their main outfallings, is their storylines. Sure, you're getting a little better at telling some stories, but now you need to figure out the length. Not everything needs to be a year long, and that not everything should be 2 weeks. You shouldn't have 15 other little side quests coming out of your one storyline. It's too much, man. It's too much. And their matches are brutal, and I love them. If you want to see some hard hitting, great, fantastic professional wrestling, watch AEW. But you're gonna watch like 15-20 minute matches a piece, and you're gonna say, how are these people not dead afterwards? And that's every match every week. So that it's to preference and to taste, man, at this point.
Let's get into AEW, by the way. So I'm going to give you my thoughts about that as well. So I have to agree with you. I went to AEW Dynamite last Wednesday. It was a fantastic show. It really set the tone. Again, it was not crowded. It wasn't full. They only showed the bottom. Up at the top, it was not crowded. So I think the biggest problem I have with AEW is that Tony Khan needs to figure out how he's going to get back into big arenas again. If you can't sell out small arenas, that's a bigger issue for me. As far as the wrestling goes, we're going to support the wrestlers. Hey, they're coming out there. They're putting their bodies on the line for us. They know what they got to do to entertain. And it's like, I think the creative aspect needs to be fixed, honestly. I think Khan needs to go in there and find somebody. And listen, when we talk about creative control, Triple H isn't doing that. Now, there might be a couple wrestlers that he might be letting get away with it, but overall, he's running his wrestlers. He's like, hey, this is the way it's going to go. If you don't like it, take off. I think people are respecting that. Now, if you go to the AEW side, my whole preference is, and my whole thing is, Tony Khan is saying this: as long as you're making money, do whatever you want. That doesn't roll with me. I mean, yes,
the inmates run the asylum.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Great segue.
15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, go ahead, B. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, no, I agree with you. They're 15 to 20 minutes long, but my whole problem is, can we not make the matches so long? I mean, I love to watch wrestling at the end of the day. And honestly, I really don't care. But if you know who the clear winner is going to be, let's just get it over with, in my opinion. Go ahead.
You can tell the story, the same story you're telling in 45 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You can tell in 5 if you have to, and if you're professional and you know what you're doing, and they all do. I mean, majority of them do. That's part of why you get paid what you paid, and part of the business. Right. Great segue though. Speaking of AEW, and another thing that I love about AEW is they work with local talent everywhere they go. Like not that the WWE doesn't, but AEW, pretty much every show, whether it's a Ring of Honor, an AEW, a Collision, a Dynamite, you're going to see local talent or people that local independent wrestlers from the area and around. You'll get that will be there, whether they're a security guard or they're in an actual match getting squashed or whatever. They still get a little 5 minutes of fame on national television, and that is a perfect segue for our boy Logan Knight, a independent wrestler himself, up and comer, who is the current first and only FTW champion. He was crowned in Vegas last year at the one and only FTW Mania that we had, where he won the title. He was recently featured. There he is. He was recently featured on was on AEW television. I believe 2 weeks ago it might have been, where he was a part of the, oh my goodness, the Ops Dojo. He came out there with Samoa Joe and them, and he beat down Hangman Page. He was the main guy beating on Hangman Page, holding him down, stomping on him. I think he hit him with a bat or something. That was our boy Logan Knight, the FTW champion, baby. We're so proud to see he's back from an injury. He came back. I don't think he's fully back now, still out there doing his thing. But shout out to Logan Knight. Keep doing your thing, brother. Glad to see you back. And, man, that was awesome to see you on TV. Hope to see more of you.
Shout out to Logan Knight. Never met him. Hopefully I get to meet him very soon. But I like the fact that, everybody's getting an opportunity to do their thing, especially the fact that they love professional wrestling and they just want to go out there and perform at the very highest level and show what they're about. All right, let's get into another interesting topic that has been going around. Let's talk about Chris Jericho here, because I'm starting to hear a lot of rumors here and a lot of things that are not happening. For example, a couple weeks back on social media, we heard Adam Pearce kind of giving us a little tease that Chris Jericho was going to pop up on a Raw when he was saying, break the walls down. And we're all thinking, this is going to be the debut of Chris Jericho. Didn't happen. Then a lot of people were saying he was going to show up at the Royal Rumble. That didn't happen. Now I'm hearing reports, if they're actually true, that Tony Khan is placing Jericho on the injured list where he's not letting him go anywhere. Now, how factual is that? And I want to hear your thoughts as well about it, Lyle, as well, because my whole thing is, why is Tony Khan keeping Jericho? Why can't he let him go? I mean, if you're not going to do anything with him and you have no plans for him, and it seemed like Jericho was going to go back to WWE, why are you holding him back? You did the same thing to Rey Fenix. You did the same thing to Penta. Listen, if wrestlers are not happy in your promotion, whether it's WWE or AEW, I think you should let them go. Now, here's the thing before I give it to you, and I want to make this point, and I'm going to stick to this point. Just because you leave from one company to the other does not mean that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. Prime example, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. Tommaso Ciampa leaves WWE, goes to AEW, wins the TNT Championship, holds it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, not even giving him a chance to really shine at the highest level to defend that championship. When I went to AEW Dynamite that past Wednesday, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a great match. But I think, I kind of did pull for the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher to win the match. But at the same time, I'm thinking, Tommaso Ciampa is going to retain it, but Kyle's going to run for his money. Well, I hate it to be right, but they gave it back to Kyle Fletcher. So my whole thing is, why did you guys put the TNT Championship on Tommaso Ciampa and then all of a sudden take it away from him? And only had it for 2 weeks. Why not elevate him? There must have been a reason why you put the title on him, but then you take it away from him. So yeah, to me, that seemed pretty awkward. So yeah, let me get your thoughts on that. And Chris Jericho.
I'll get straight to the Ciampa thing. Some of the dumbest shit ever. One, Mark Briscoe has earned every bit of gold they decide to put on him. So to have Ciampa just come in, and I'm not saying Ciampa's horrible. He's not. Ciampa's great. I like Ciampa a lot. It was cool for me. Oh hell yeah, Ciampa, cool. But for him to win, no, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. I'm tired of Tony Khan doing that dumbass shit. And then 2 weeks later, all that does is degrade the titles. Whatever championship you're having, just flip. That doesn't make any prestige for that championship. What it's supposed to make, look, the division is so competitive and so hot that they just keep everybody. No, that's not how that fucking works, Tony. You should know this, you Mark. You're a big, one of the biggest fans that I've ever heard of. You're a damn walking encyclopedia of wrestling. You know that doesn't work. So why are you allowing it to happen or doing it? I don't know. It upsets me because I like AEW so much. And for like a year and a half, 2 years, y'all were so hot. And y'all were doing some good shit. When you had Tony Storm storyline going on with Mariah May. When you had Hangman Page and Swerve going at it. When you had Adam Cole and MJF. When you had you had some beautiful wrestling and some good stories. And now, it's a struggle to get through a Wednesday night. And I hate saying that. So that's all I got to say about the Ciampa thing. That's dumb. I like Kyle Fletcher. He's the future of wrestling. He should be a champion, but I don't like how the whole thing is going down. Now, Jericho. I know Tony did what he did to Ray Phoenix, eventually letting him out early, and what he did to Penta. I know about that. I know that's fact. I don't know if he's dumb, kind of, but I don't know if he's dumb enough to do that again, and especially not to try that on Chris Jericho. So that I don't know how much I believe. It's Chris Jericho we're talking about. Not only, been around the business 30, 40 years, however long it's been, every promotion you can pretty much think of, but one of the, not necessarily founders, but helper founders of AEW itself. I don't know. I don't know how much I believe that. I know Chris was in the gym. I know he's looking better, but he's also, people got to remember, he's lead singer of a rock group. Lead singer Fozzy. He does the Rock Out on the Sea. I think he just had his last one or second to last tour he's going to do, where they go out and a cruise for like a week in the ocean, and they have wrestling and rock and roll, and it sounds amazing. And I wish I could afford to go. I mean, so I don't know when that is. I don't know if it's now, if he's doing it. So I don't know enough to say yes or no that that's happening. Personally, I don't feel like that would be correct. I think people are just jumping the gun and assuming because of what happened to Phoenix and them. Why didn't we get Jericho? Why did Adam Pearce say break the wall? Who the fuck knows? Jericho will probably go back to WWE for his last year or two for a final run to retire there and be put in the Hall of Fame. And rightfully done. That's cool. That's the way it should be. I think people need to get their sticks out their butt and pull their wedgies out their butt and just let wrestling be wrestling and let these guys, these legends especially, do their thing. If it comes out that AEW and Tony is doing that or trying to do that to Chris Jericho and cost us a Jericho at the Rumble, honestly, if it hadn't been in Saudi Arabia, I'd be more upset about it. But the fact that it was in Saudi and the fact that next year, the next WrestleMania, not the one coming up, people, but the next one is in Saudi Arabia, I believe. that's a whole nother thing I'm not even going to get on. But yeah, again, I guess to make a long story short, I don't necessarily believe that. If it is, that's sad, and I will have some things to say about it heatedly when that's confirmed for sure.
Well, you should probably look it up because it has been reported that Tony Khan did actually, in fact, put Jericho on that list and is not letting him go for whatever reason. So it is factual. So
I mean to hold him there. I don't know if Jericho's actually injured. I said he's been in the gym a lot. He could have gotten hurt in the gym. It could be storyline. I have no idea. If it turns out to be factual that the reason he did that was so Jericho can't go out anywhere else and like he did to Phoenix and Penta, then I'll be pissed and then I'll have something to say. But until that's been proven, I can't really speculate on that.
Well, but it seems like it is though, because if that was the case, he would let Jericho go. Because we just heard from Adam Pearce saying that Break the Walls down on Monday Night Raw, and we're thinking January 5th, Jericho, live, Monday Night Raw. Then that got held back. Then everybody's saying, well, he's going to show up at the Royal Rumble. That didn't happen. So I'm kind of thinking that Tony Khan did this on purpose just to not let Jericho leave. I don't understand. If the guy wants to go, you should let him go. Why are you going to hold him back? So again, I'm believing it at this point. I mean, from what I've been reading, it seems like that's the case. Now, again, is Chris Jericho injured? You're right. We don't know. But the fact remains the same. I think Tony Khan doesn't want to let Jericho go. Maybe he wants to work out a contract deal with him. I don't know the whole full details. I'm going to have to look into it. But again, it seems like Tony Khan is doing that. And I just don't understand from both sides of the aspect. Listen, if the wrestlers want to leave your company, there's a reason. Yeah. Whether they're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. If they want to go, let them go. Let them seek the other opportunity. If they're not happy, they're most likely going to go back. We're going to throw out some wrestlers. Jay Cargill, unhappy. WWE. Rusev, AEW, back there, although he's not really doing much. We had Aleister Black, AEW, back to WWE. And again, the grass may not be greener on the other side, but for some reason, these wrestlers are saying, look, WWE's doing something that AEW's not. And it's a vice versa thing. So again, my whole thing is, whether it's Triple H or Tony Khan, just let these guys go. Yeah. Don't hold them back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's get into this, where the state of pro wrestling is going and where we think it's going to be headed in 2026. Now, we're going to talk about both sides. There's no particular order. Where do you see wrestling going in 2026, and what are your expectations of it as far as the storylines between both companies?
Oh, man. Unfortunately, I think WWE is going in a not so popular, massively popular direction. I think they're going a little too TKO corporate with it. So I think the future holds some UFC type fusion, some definite, like the Saudi Arabia stuff, the overseas, a lot more overseas big shows. I could see them turning Survivor Series into a 2-night thing, War Games, 2 different War Games on 2 different nights. I could see them doing things like that. More and more money grabs. It's going to be like you've never seen before. That's what I can kind of picture for both. With all the digital streaming platforms, the difficulty to watch unless you're overseas. People, I'm going to preach right here. If you can get a VPN and get Netflix on that VPN so you can watch every single WWE event, including PLEs, on Netflix. That's Raw, live. SmackDown, live. NXT, live if they do live. I think they do live, right? NXT's live on Tuesdays. Okay, NXT live. If it's a live show, you can watch it on Netflix live using a VPN as long as you're not in the country. You can watch it anywhere other than the country. So anyway, that's my little rant preach about that. Get a VPN. But that's my point. All the different streaming services, the fact that everyone flips from there. Now you got to have ESPN. plus to watch the PLEs, which is $30 a month instead of the $10 a month that was on Peacock for that. Again, money grab after money grab after money grab. I think we're going to see more and more celebrities. We saw how great Jelly Roll did. We've seen how Logan Paul is doing. They should have seen from the absolute clusterfuck of a failure with Travis Scott that not every mega star, whether they're singer, rapper, actor, a NASCAR driver, I don't care. It doesn't mean they can get out there and do that crap. All right, it doesn't mean it, and that's lesson maybe that they will eventually learn. But the bigger the name, the more money that comes in, and that's what it is all about. Everyone knows this one. It's all about that money, brother, and whatever's going to bring them the most. AEW seems to just, decide to defecate money everywhere because they don't seem to be making a damn penny. But when you got that NFL and that soccer club money, then I guess you can just kind of try to figure it out. I think AEW, oh man, it hurts me to say this. AEW staying in the state they're in now, staying with the way they've been going, I feel they got 3 to 5 years left, tops, before they have to fold. And that's unless something significantly picks up. And MJF, being MJF, is not going to be able to carry an entire company and keep the doors open. I'm sorry. I don't even think The Rock, Stone Cold, none of them could have done it on just them back in their day. An entire company on just that one person. And right now, that's all you got with AEW.
I gotta stop. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I fully agree. Hello?
Hear me. And here's why I say hear me out. WWE is gonna always be that monster and do what they do, right? Just because of the simple fact that's WWE. They're the machine. But I'm sorry, wrestling has been so hot these last 2 to 3 years that they have opened the door to new eyes like AEW. I'm sorry. Wrestling has been so hot these last couple years. You cannot tell me that even going to a WrestleMania wrestling show, people have just been wanting to be involved in wrestling, regardless if it's WWE, AEW, TNA. We have been seeing that. And I'm sorry, what WWE is doing, you're losing superstars, pissing them off, and they're going straight over there to AEW. And regardless of if Tony Khan is messing them up or he's doing right by them, they're still getting attention. People don't understand, for real wrestling fans, which is a lot nowadays, or just wrestling fans in general, a lot of people seen Tommaso Ciampa leave WWE, or at least heard about it, and then seen him go over to AEW. It's just the little things like that is where I'm just like, I understand, and MJF himself is a household name. They have Swerve. Now, when it comes to Toni Storm, I do think Toni has done what she can, but I do think they're overusing Toni. I think it's time for Toni for a little break for her personally, but that's on a whole nother story. But outside of that, I do personally feel like AEW has been better than WWE writing-wise lately. And then on top of that, it's just a simple fact that, man, they have the ability to bring stars over. I don't care what people feel about it. Tony Khan has the ability to bring superstars over, regardless if he does right by them or wrong by them. He has the ability. And I'm sorry, it's just not now the hot market to say, oh, let me run my ass over to WWE. It's just not that no more. I have seen people in the indie scenes that have got invites from WWE that I worked with and still went over to AEW. Yeah, I know people that are signed in AEW right now. So it's just one of those things where I just don't feel like it's that, person. And that's all I'm gonna say. And that's my rant, and I'm out.
Okay,
I respect Boss Man, but at the same time, that's just how I personally feel about it right now. Is that it's for me, personal fan. I'm gonna go fan out instead of like analyst. I'm gonna fan. I'm not happy with either company, the state of either company's show. I am happier with AEW a little bit more than WWE because of how much they pissed me off with their crap. But that is what I think. But yeah, I think that AEW right now, unless something drastically changes, and mainly it's because of one, they're making sense, their storylines. But two, it's the money thing. It's how expensive WWE is going to be getting, and everything else is getting. The fact that the economy and prices keep rising on everything. I think it's eventually going to be damn near a pick and choose type situation. And that I don't think is going to be good for any kind of competition against WWE, the machine, as Boss Man put it, because it's a fucking machine.
I have to agree with you, Lyle, 100%. I think if I see AEW going down, 3 to 5 months, if
years.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, I do see that happening if they don't somehow get it together, because I'm starting to see, him still getting in small stadiums, not selling them out, which is really sad. Back in 2019, when it first started, when I watched it, it was in big arenas. The pay-per-views were never an issue for me. They've always been great. We could say that they've been disappointing, some great, but at the end of the day, he never disappoints on pay-per-view. My problem is this. If you can't fill small venues, that's a problem for me. Not only that, Here's the other thing too. Wednesdays is your primary show. You don't have any competition. Why not make it 2.5 to 3 hours? You're not running against anybody. You should be taking advantage of Wednesdays, having more matches, having more things creatively happen. I mean, honestly, there is no competition there. So I would try to make it a 3-hour show, develop more matches, more storylines, more promos to set up your pay-per-views. Now, getting back to Boss Man's point about AEW and giving wrestlers opportunities back and forth. Listen, I'm going to throw an example in there. What about Royce Keys, a.k.a. Powerhouse Hobbs? How come Tony Khan couldn't save him? That guy never had a chance to get a championship
because
title shot.
Let's be honest. Two things. Here's my thing, B.
I disagree with that. It doesn't matter where you go. It's who's going to push you.
Here's my thing.
Never got a chance to become an AEW World Champion. The guy was
Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs did 3 things.
He's going to work with Obafemi, Brock Lesnar.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
So
I don't know about that.
I don't understand why Powerhouse Hobbs could work with MJF.
Because it's 3 things. It's 3 things.
Work with,
3 things. One, he lied about his age. One, he lied about his age.
Or any particular wrestler that is actually talented in AEW. So my point goes to what I'm saying. Sometimes the grass is never greener on the other side. And I think the biggest problem is Tony Khan is not pushing the people at the right time.
And you can say the same for WWE though, because there's been wrestlers that left.
And
there's been wrestlers that left AEW and went to WWE.
But what I'm saying is, it seems like the wrestlers that are leaving AEW are going to WWE realizing that they have a chance to get pushed. That's all I'm saying. So to me, I disagree with that. But I'm going to agree with
I don't know if he can hear you, Zach.
I don't think he can.
Huh? I'm sorry?
Oh, but I was saying there's 3 things wrong while Powerhouse Hobbs didn't get pushed. One, his age. She went to AEW and lied about his age. She said he was a lot older than what he was. I mean, a lot younger than what he was. That's one. 2, he's not the best. He's not the best in the ring. He's not. He didn't come. He's not an actual wrestler. One thing about it is AEW signed him because of his actual size. He was one of those that they took from his size and tried to make a wrestler. He was not a wrestler. And then 3, he has no real mic skills. One thing about WWE, one thing about WWE, we're already worrying about him. WWE, we already having concerns because he's already supposed to been already debuted. They said on SmackDown, but he hasn't debuted on SmackDown. He's been on main event the last 2-3 weeks. So I can't sit there and say that. And like you say, you just said it yourself, B. 100%, you're correct. It works both ways. There has been wrestlers that have went to AEW and the grass is not greener. There has been wrestlers that has went back to WWE from AEW and the grass is not greener. So it really doesn't matter in that particular standpoint. The only problem that AEW really is going to always just have is the marketing problem of that. That's what it is. They can't market like WWE. That is the only problem we are really missing here. For a real genuine wrestling fan, like I said, AEW is going to continue to make shows. They're going to continue to pack out people. Just because people don't understand, WWE shows aren't that motherfucking hot right now either. They're not pulling that many people in their shows right now. They're not pulling 15,000, 16,000 on a Monday Night Raw no more. They're pulling the average 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. I've been seeing it. They've been complaining about the numbers. They're even complaining about WrestleMania numbers. Look what they're doing right now. So even as much as the marketing they're doing right now, that shit still ain't helping. So that's all I'm saying, as in we're like, oh well, we're pushing AEW out the door in a couple of years. No, you're really not, because right now everybody that you're pushing, not while you're also thinking you're pushing AEW out the door, you're also pushing several wrestlers over to AEW. Because I can tell you within the last 5 to 6 months, half the wrestlers they let go. If the other ones didn't hit the indie scene and basically become a champion like Karrion Kross, and the other half went straight to AEW. And it's literally just that simple. You had it was split down the middle. You had maybe 5%, 5 or 10% literally go to TNA. The other half went on the indie scene and killed it, or went on, or the other females get OnlyFans and they're killing and doing their own thing. And then you have the other side of the court. The other side of the people went to AEW. Think about it. Hell, Andrade literally got released from WWE 2 days after his contract. He showed up on AEW.
Yeah, but what are they doing with him, though? He just had one run before that, and they didn't do anything with him. So how do we know this run's going to be better than the first run? That's what I'm saying.
We gotta wait and see for everybody else. Just like you said it perfectly, B. We literally just gotta wait and see, because at this point in time, it don't really matter who you go to, which company you decide to walk your ass out of and go to. Yep. We literally just gotta see who pushes who, because in reality, I don't think they're gonna use Hobbs right in WWE, just like he wasn't used right in AEW. Hobbs might just be a guy that needs to go to TNA and probably try to build his stuff up from there. We never know. But until we just see, like you said, I literally don't think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this person's going to be used better over here, just like this person's going to be used better over here. I literally think it's one of those things we just got to literally watch and see.
But again, I disagree. I think I agree with Lyle. 3 to 5 years, I think it's gone. Listen, I started watching this back in 2019 when it started. It was in big arenas. The pay-per-views were good. I think that we saw a decline when CM Punk left, and I think that really hurt him, because when CM Punk left, you saw all the fans going and following him in WWE. And honestly, now with that being said, the pay-per-views in AEW, I'm not sure if they're sold out or not. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, because I really don't have a chance to watch their pay-per-views, but I can tell you their shows are now sold out.
Rock. Yes, Rock.
They're not.
And neither is WWE shows, bro.
I think they're sold out.
No, they're not.
WWE shows I've seen has been sold out. You tell me what show that hasn't been sold out.
Bro, there's been several shows
on that Friday Night SmackDown. It may not have been. But
no. There's been several shows not sold out. All you gotta go do is look up WWE ticket sales lately. They've been complaining about ticket sales in general, no matter where they've been lately, bro. There has not been no sold out shows on no Monday, no Friday Night SmackDown, bro. There's not been sold out shows. There have literally been your regular 8,000-9,000 people there at shows. I'm telling you, you're talking to a person that literally went to a Raw, and I sat there and watched them push people forward. They tell people, scoop people seats up, give people better seats. It looks a little fuller because WWE is still packing more people in the house than AEW. But okay, here's the difference: AEW is probably bringing 4,500. WWE is probably bringing 8,500. That's the difference. But they're not selling out no crowds either. Neither one of them are selling out packed out crowds right now. Nobody is putting 30 and 40,000 people in seats right now. Neither. We're talking about a Royal Rumble. Even in Saudi Arabia, they built a seat in Saudi Arabia. The Royal Rumble was set for 26,000. They didn't even seat 26,000.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. But like I'm saying, I honestly think that I still agree with Lyle.
Man, you can look into it all you want, man. I promise you know my news is good, so you can look into it all you want. I'm telling you, I'll show you some facts and I'll send it to you here in a few. But WWE has been complaining about ticket prices. That's why I said personally, there is no real winner in this, because respectfully, WWE, think about it, B. If their ticket prices is as high as there is right now, do you really think they give a fuck about WrestleMania sales? Do you think they let us show a WrestleMania party?
I agree.
Do you think they let us do our thing? They're not selling tickets right now. That's why they're doing what they're doing in WrestleMania. That's why they're not letting us show no watch parties. They want people. They need people to come in this motherfucker right now. Yeah. And yes, Rock, you are correct. Andrade is already fighting for championships. He's already in number one contender matches since he's been back in AEW. He's already with the Don Callis family. He's already done more with AEW in a month than he did his whole time in WWE. I'm sorry. That's just being real. So that's two things right there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and I agree. And like I said, you made a valid point there too. I mean, people are mad about the ticket prices with WWE right now. You're absolutely right. And people are not going because of it. And I'm just going to throw a lot of things out there that I think are hurting for WWE. And you guys can feed off of this as well. I think ever since going to Netflix, I think that hurt them. And then when TKO realized that this Netflix thing was not the right decision, then they go, well, we got to go to ESPN. And
I'm gonna be the biggest thing. I'm gonna be the biggest thing with you, B. I'm gonna be honest with you, B. I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't Netflix. Yeah. Netflix is actually happy with WWE. ESPN is pissed off with WWE. ESPN is very upset with WWE. ESPN is highly upset with WWE because the simple fact of the matter is, ESPN is is sports, and that's sports. No sports entertainment. That is just sports. Bringing over WWE to ESPN was a whole different thing. You got people, now you have sports analysts. That's why people like us, the content creators, the podcasters that love wrestlers, took the fuck out the conference rooms because ESPN took over. That's why now those people, if you're with ESPN, that's why now those are the people getting glorified. Those are the people going into press conference rooms because WWE has now put ESPN analysts, or if you're not signed with ESPN or doing anything with ESPN, or anything with sports, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And then their viewership for ESPN, they want to literally charge people. Literally, I want y'all to hear this, people. ESPN personally wants to charge people separate from the paper, separate from what's going on. So if you already have ESPN app, ESPN still wants you to pay $30, but you know the ESPN app already automatically gives you the pay-per-view if you have it. ESPN doesn't want that. ESPN still wants you to pay $30 on top of even having the app.
I think by the end of the day, it comes down to money here at this point, because you did bring up some interesting points. But here's the thing I want you to understand as well. Okay, so let me ask you a question. So what you're telling me is that the Netflix thing is great, but the ESPN thing wasn't the reason why ESPN's mad at WWE. But if you think about it, it comes down to money, and I'm going to tell you why. Think about it. People can't afford to pay for Netflix. Okay, they can't afford it. Now they go to ESPN, and they can't afford that.
We can't afford none of this shit they got going on right now.
That's what
it's too much money. It's too much money being spent on WWE, like you said. Netflix, you got to pay for Monday Night Raw Netflix. Let's watch Monday Night Raw. You got to pay for CW to watch Tuesday Night NXT. You have to pay for Friday Night SmackDown. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's cable televised. And then now you have to pay for the PLEs. So that is now like 3 or 4 different things you got to pay just to watch WWE now.
Exactly. So here's what I would do to allow your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on this. We're not letting you speak. Go for it.
Which thoughts? I already pretty much said my piece on that.
Okay. So let's basically continue on with that then. So at this point, here's what I would suggest doing to save all the money problems, to make it so much easier for everybody. All right. We know that NXT is on CW, right? Why don't we take NXT, put them on Netflix? Why don't we take SmackDown, put it on Netflix? Why don't we put all the pay-per-views, put them on Netflix?
Because I think they don't make the money,
a lot of people money. A lot of people hassle.
They don't make the money, B.
We're not paying for different things.
It's the money, B. If all right, look, Netflix either won't make the offer, or whatever offer they would make for all of those for proprietary WWE, to have NXT, SmackDown, all of it on their, so all solely on their platform. It would cost too much money that they either don't want to pay or don't possibly even don't have, because USA or whoever Fox, whoever SmackDown is on currently, I have no idea which cable network it's on, is paying yay much to have them on that network. And then you've got CW is paying yay much to have them. So it's not there. I don't think that Netflix can match the numbers for those. That's why they do that. That's why it's separated that way, because WWE makes way too much money making these lucrative deals with Peacock, and then with USA, and then with Sci-Fi, and then with CW, and then with whoever they're showing their shows on at the time. I would
So-
love for them to do that. That's why I said get a fucking VPN. Everybody needs to get a damn VPN so we can watch it all on Netflix anyways.
I have a question. Does anybody have, or maybe we need to look this up, how well is NXT doing on the CW? How much are they really
They're
making
doing
as far as we
perfectly
know?
fine. I'm not trying to be funny. They're doing perfectly fine. Their ratings are usually higher than, I hate to say it, their ratings are usually higher than AEW's.
No, I believe it.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then, not only trying to be funny, their ratings are usually higher than AEW's and TNA's. So, yeah,
100%
I
believe
would
it.
say right now, it like, not trying to be funny, NXT literally kind of is like your top promotion outside of Raw. They're like, they're over SmackDown too. Like, it's Raw, then NXT after Raw.
Okay. So, I think what it boils down to is what we've been discussing about is just clearly money. Money. And at the end of the day, here's the bottom line to everything. And I think we can all agree upon this, is that we want every wrestling promotion to succeed. Bottom line. What we're hoping for is that they try to make it affordable for fans to watch so that you keep the fans to watch it. And I think the biggest problem is what both companies need to do. And I think the one thing I'm going to give credit to Tony Khan is this. He's making it affordable. That's what I like. Like, he's actually wanting wrestling fans to go.
Yes.
The other side doesn't.
Now, B,
And I
hold
think
on,
they're
B. Can I
losing
ask you a
fans
question?
because
Can I
of
ask you a question, B?
Yeah.
Now, tell me this. Now, you went to the AEW show the other night.
Right.
I went to AEW show not too long ago. I had a fucking ball. Now, tell me, was that show not affordable and fun?
Oh, hell yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Thank you. I sat there and paid $25. I paid like $25 altogether for my ticket. Literally sat in the middle of like great fucking seats for $25 and watched like damn near like B said, he'll overdo the matches sometimes. You will sit there and almost watch 20 matches with Tony Khan. But he gives you so much. He gives you great, fun, affordable wrestling. And that's
Boss Man, weren't you actually there for the Iron Man match between Will Ospreay and MJF?
Yes, sir. I was just watching it in my phone the other day.
That one that MJF beat? Yeah, man, you were there for that one. I'm jealous.
Yes, sir.
And I actually was at AEW and I paid $103 and I was on the floor. And I absolutely 100% loved it. So I'm not going to disagree with Boss Man on that aspect. But again, I think we're talking about money here, and we're seeing both sides of the positives and negatives on both sides from AEW and WWE. But my whole hoping is that we keep everything running. We have nearly 5 days of pro wrestling that we can watch. We have different choices, whether you're a fan or not. But I think we're listen, it's running 365 days a year. It's not going anywhere. It's not seasonal. It's damn near running. So, and again, we're sports fans here. We like basketball, football, baseball, whatever the case may be. But what people need to understand is this is an ongoing thing. And we need to try to say
CJ Stroud. I just want to throw that out there.
CJ Stroud.
I'm a Houston fan, man. I'm a Houston fan. Don't scar me.
Quarterback for the Houston Texans,
right now.
The greatest quarterback the Houston Texans have ever had.
I will kick you out this podcast, bro. I will kick you out this podcast, bro. Like,
the guy that can throw the most touchdowns in the NFL.
Yeah, the most motherfucking interceptions. Good God, NFL, y'all need to investigate him. I don't know why we haven't heard nothing about this yet. Investigate this motherfucker. 12 turnovers in 2 games is diabolical.
It's crazy. So again, that is funny. CJ Stroud, you get the clap for me. No,
put your goddamn hands down, B. Don't be clapping.
This podcast does not sponsor CJ Stroud in any way. It's refrained from his name ever being used.
Thank you. But
yeah, so getting down to what we were saying, the bottom line is Wrestling runs 365 days a year. There's no seasons to it. And I just want pro wrestling fans to know on this show and this podcast and our podcast that our common goal is this, and I think we can all agree to this. We want to keep the wrestling community together. That's the common goal. I don't care what company you watch. This is what it's about. This is why we do what we do. Because we want to give you this passion, enthusiasm, and desire that I talk about on my podcast, which I'm going to bring here to this team. Because if we don't have that, what's the point of us doing this? There's no point. So that's the common goal here. And we're going to bring you as much information as we can. We're going to give you our thoughts. Of course, we're going to have debates, agree or disagree. But let me ask you guys a question. What other podcast do you know that does this? Now, I've watched a lot of platforms on TikTok. The only thing I'm seeing is they're giving opinions, they're giving debates, but at the same time, I don't see the energy. I see just a lot of this. We don't do that here. Yes, we talk, but we're actually debating on whether we agree or disagree. We're talking about the matches. We're talking about the pay-per-views. But this team right here, and I promise you this team is doing this. They're bringing, and these are the most important three things that I always talk about, but I want to bring here. Passion is number one, because you got to be passionate about it. Enthusiasm, you got to have that. And desire, you got to want to do it. You got to want to always be ready for anything coming your way.
B, I swear I thought you were about to say hustle, loyalty, respect, and I was about to turn off the pot. I was just about to just leave. I thought you were about to do it.
No, I would never do that. But this is my thing that I do. And okay, so I will say this. I kind of think we are loyal, which we are. But most importantly, we should be respected. Why should we be respected? Because of what we're doing here. This job is not easy to do.
Don't say hustle, B. Don't throw the hustle in there, B. Don't throw it. Don't let us know what the hustle stands for.
So the hustle means that we are trying to, I don't want to say make money, but it's more of, we have a future here. Our common goal is to be paid for what we're doing. But in order for that to happen, it comes from you, the fans, the support you're going to give us. Because listen, we know where we're about to go. But our job is to make sure that we keep doing that. And trust me, you guys are going to start seeing it. You're going to start seeing where we're going here. And you're going to realize that if you decide to put your money into it, you'll be like, you know what? It's well worth it. Because we're getting what we deserve. That to me is what it's about.
Hustle, loyalty, respect, baby.
All about the Houston Texans and that CJ Stroud, boy. I tell you what, next year, Super Bowl.
You see, then you have to go there.
He's about to get kicked out of here real quick.
You see what I'm saying?
All right, you're right. You're right. The next world heavyweight champion is Stardust. That's what's going to happen. We're going to see Cody Rhodes just snap and go back to his roots.
Now you started it.
See what I'm saying? That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. Bro, I love you, Cody. I love you, Cody.
You're gonna have Goldust as his manager.
If you come out there ever again in that Stardust shit, we gonna fight, motherfucker. We gonna fight. Y'all gonna see me on live TV jump the barricade. Cause ain't no way.
Ain't no coming back for Cody. He does that shit again, right?
No way. I'm coming for him. That's what I'm doing.
Ain't no.
Oh, jeez.
You hear that, Cody Rhodes? You have been warned, American Nightmare.
Please do not put this shit back on.
What about this tag team? Man, I just thought about this. El Grande Americano tagging with Stardust?
Oh no, just no.
That is a nasty combination.
Nasty.
That is a nasty combination.
Wait.
nasty.
B. I mean, not that any of them are good, but which El Grande?
We're
That
gonna
is
go
a good
Chad
question.
Gable.
Okay,
Chad
I like
Gable.
that.
No, look, Chad Gable is not. I've been saying this for years. Chad Gable is not El Grande Americano.
What you think? See, that's the you gotta stop smoking that shit, bro. I gotta give you some of what I'm smoking so you can see clearly.
Ludwig Kaiser is El Grande Americano.
I'm just sorry.
I think Chad Gable has been El Grande Americano for a long time.
Chad is, man. Chad is, bro. You know,
all I'm saying is, I'm sorry. Free Tyler Bate. They got him in this dumbass. They got him in this dumbass blue scrub, man. Free Tyler Bate, please.
And Pete Dunne as well. Please.
Hashtag free Pete Dunne, free Tyler Bate, and hashtag let's change the indies, because that's my hashtag, personal hashtag. I want to get out there. Let's change and save the motherfucking indies of wrestling, because those that know, y'all know it needs to change. Y'all scumbag ass promoters, we coming for you.
What do you guys? So let me ask you guys a question about that too, because I don't really get an opportunity to watch any pro wrestling. What do you think is the biggest problem that these promoters are having as far as any pro wrestling is concerned? Like, what do you think needs to be better, and what do you think they're doing wrong?
Laughing to get us canceled.
Hey, I don't know about it. I was just asking. I'm trying to.
All right, boss man, you want to go ahead and take this one then?
Oh no, brother, be my guest.
All right, look. What needs to change on the indie scene? One, not everyone can wrestle. I'm sorry, it's the fucking truth. So if you can't wrestle, don't be trying to get in the damn ring. You're going to get hurt or get somebody else hurt. And these promoters need to stop trying to buy $5 wrestlers, literally free and $5 wrestlers, and then throwing them to the veterans coming through. Oh, here, we got a match for you. Here's this green-ass dude that can't body slam, can't take a bump, can't even fucking nip. I mean, oh my God. Don't even get me started. Anyways, that's one of the biggest problems is the promoters need to stop hiring subpar talent because it's cheap. Number two, promoters need to understand that I don't care if it's indie wrestling or not, it's expensive to throw a show. So if you ain't got the money to throw a show, meaning to pay your talent, don't throw a fucking show. You're not a promoter. You may want to be, but you ain't got the funds, you ain't got the means. Find a sponsor or something, save up some money and throw one show a year just to appease yourself. But don't start no company. Don't be like, hey, we're going to have 3 shows a month, because you ain't going to be able to afford shit. You ain't going to make no damn money. Not off the rip. You got to have the talent to do it. So 3, if you're going to hire females, you need to have somewhere private for them to change, not the same locker room as the guys. And you got to realize women are going to be 3 times more expensive than any of the guys. And they're probably not going to wrestle anywhere near as good as the guys that are cheaper. No shade, women, I love you, but it's just a simple fact and truth. It's really hard in the indie scene. And then, I already said it, man, in a nutshell. The promoters need to pay their talent. You need to pay the talent, especially when you got guys that are driving hours one way, 7 hours one way to come to a show, and you're giving them $20 and a hot dog, or just $20 or $75. They ain't paying for gas. If you can't afford to pay your talent, don't throw a fucking show.
So what's the positive side of wrestling in the indies as well? Because you talked about the negative side, but what is the positive side about it?
You get to wrestle. I love it. Like I have wrestled for free. I would still wrestle. I would go out right now and wrestle for free if I had somebody that hit me up, hey, we're throwing a show on it. Yep, I'll be there right now. I don't care what shape I'm in. I love it. It's the only thing I have that type of passion for in my life. And you either got it or you don't. When you get in the ring, when you take your first bump, you know. when you hit them ropes for the first time and you realize, ooh, you either got it or you don't. You got the it factor or you don't. And it's very rare that people have it. It's not anybody can get in the ring and take a bump and hit the ropes, but again, not everybody can actually wrestle and has it. So the positive thing about it is if you love it, that's what's positive about it. You get to get in there, you get to get out, escape from reality. You get to put on a show. You get to tell a story, whether it's your story you want to tell, you're helping a friend tell a story. You get to perform in front of a crowd, get the adulations, get the jeers, the cheers, the boos. You get to step outside yourself and become a mini superhero for a brief period of time. It's amazing.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to wrap up this podcasting show, but before we do, I'm going to let everybody close it out here. We'll have Lyle and the Boss Man close it out. But I just want to say this in closing. This is why you get an opportunity to watch this podcast. Now you see what we're talking about as pro wrestling fans and as podcasters. Everything I talked about is happening right here on this podcast. So if you are down for this and you want to be a part of something that's amazing, where you get an opportunity to comment, interact, this is a place for you. All you have to do right now is give us a follow. And it's very simple. And I promise you, you're going to get everything. Where we're about to go, listen, I'm going to throw this at you right now. I'm going to say this. Then I'm going to let these guys close it out here. If you don't become a part of this, you're going to ask yourself why. Because what we're about to go is crazy. And if you don't do it, you're going to be like, why wasn't I part of it? So listen, this is what we're about. This is what we're doing. I'm going to drop the mic and I'm going to let Lyle close it out, Boss Man close it out, and then we're going to wrap up the show. All right, I'm done.
All I got to say to all my Mad Maniacs out there, it's been rough. It's been a struggle. It's going to continue to be a struggle because that's fucking life. We've learned it. We've adapted to it. We're going to continue to fight back. So watch the podcast, follow and follow everyone in here. Follow. It doesn't hurt to just click a little like, a little thumbs up, a little share button. Doesn't hurt nobody. Everyone lives on their phones anyways. Go ahead and just, send it out there into the ether. That's all we're saying. But yeah, it's your boy, Lyle Madman Murray. I'm back. Going to be doing this show with Famous B every Wednesday that I can make it, hopefully, which will hopefully be every single Wednesday. So it's glad to be back. I'm glad to see and hear from all of you again. It's been too long, and I've missed you.
All right, Boss Man, go ahead and close it out.
Yo. And with that being said, man, y'all know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for joining us on this show. Y'all can catch us on Mondays with, our boy Rock talking Raw and more. Y'all can catch us Wednesdays, then Wednesday mornings with the Famous B shows, and our boy Famous B and Lyle Murray. Then you can also catch us Thursday night on TNA with me and my boy MTG. And then we'll be back at it on Saturday mornings with our boy Famous B again. And with that being said, man, I thank everybody for joining us. Those are our new times. We got big things coming this year. We'll be back on the road wrestling, so we'll have content and more. Just be ready for us, man. And with that being said, man, it's your boy Luther Zaydown. I'm here with your boy Famous B. Here with your boy Madman Murray, and we are out.
Mr. Eat your greens, get up, man. Get up, man. You gotta get up, man. He missed 5 phone calls. It's money going everywhere. I'm too high for this too, getting ready to come out. What you got going on, man? You gonna get up? Don't worry about it. I'll call you back later. Get your sleep, Mr. Eat your greens. I'm too high for this too, coming out though. Man.
Eat you some greens, you niggas gon' ball. They ask what I spend when I go to the mall. They ask about green when I pick up the call. This shit that I'm selling, you niggas gon' ball. Eat you some greens, you niggas gon' ball. They ask what I spend when I